Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you could join me today. It is a little bit wet outside, but that doesn't matter because in front of me today we have an E46 330 Xi with the fabled all-wheel drive system, and of course it is a 6-speed manual, because what would a BMW POV be without 6 gears and a third pedal? Of course, unless you're a lower tier BMW owner like myself and you only get 5 gears. We're definitely going to talk about that in this POV today. It is a sport pack, so you get the nice seats in here. You saw the bumper up front. I actually think that's a ZHP bumper. This car was in a front-end accident earlier in its life, but it was well fixed. And then obviously you come back here. There's the Xi badge. Today we're going to talk about the Xi on the E46 chassis. A lot of people kind of go back and forth with the all-wheel drive. Some people like it, some people hate it. My buddy Steven dailies this car, so the all-wheel drive is perfect. Some notable mods in the car, you can probably see there's no muffler there. Muffler Delete, the tips are kind of just hanging out under there. So definitely here's some nice Muffler Delete sounds. And let's go ahead and open the hood here. Coming here under the hood, of course, this is a black hood. He had a little mishap with a deer, and a black hood is better than a dented hood. We come in here, it's pretty stock. We do have a Dinan intake, so this is actually off an E36. So it's 3.5 intake tube, it kind of goes down there. You get some nice induction sound from there. And of course, what would an E46 be without no crankcase ventilation unit and just, you know, an open hose there. Can't have everything in one of these cars. And then of course the complimentary halos, which only have the inners working right now. The outers are gonna work at a future date. These look really good at night, but even right now they look pretty good. And honestly, with just the insides working, I still think they look really nice. You guys can comment down below what you think of the halos. Something I've kind of considered on my car. But without my continue talking, let's go ahead and hop in the car, and we'll have Steven kind of talk about the car, and I'll give you my honest driving impressions. Oh yeah, you hear a nice little muffler grumble there. Down the line, we are going to fix the cosmetics on this car. Oh yeah, clutch is light. This is the self-adjusting clutch. So for those of you who aren't familiar, the 6-speed transmissions on E46 330s, the clutch on the 330s are self-adjusting. So as the clutch wears, it auto-adjusts so that you can have the same engagement at any point in the clutch life, which can be nice for using it, but it kind of sucks trying to figure out how much life your clutch is left, because you'll have no idea. All right, Steven, tell us a little about the car. How'd you buy it? How much you pay? How many miles? You know, give us a little bit of detail here.
Yeah, so I acquired the car back in March of 2019. Bought it for $3,000 off this guy on Facebook Marketplace. Good deal on it. It needed some new brakes, and it did have a misfire to it, so that's why he kind of went down on the price for it. But we did some sprucing it up. The misfire was due to that CCV, which I ended up just getting rid of because we bought a new one and that was already bad. Like, it was bad from the box. So we just got rid of it, tried out a catch can that blew my valve cover, and that was a funny project because there's too much pressure in my system. But we fixed the vacuum leak, fixed the misfire, got new brakes on it, and we were all set to go.
Yeah. Oh, you did also have the center support bearing for a while.
Oh yeah, so I actually lived with a bad center support bearing for almost 2 years. And Sonny was on my ass about it for the longest time until I finally fixed it. After, hint to the black hood, after I hit a deer, I ended up doing a lot of maintenance on the car.
So you've owned it for, what, just 2 or 3 years?
3 years now, as of March of this year.
Oh yeah, I remember when you bought that. Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah.
Like your ownership?
I've loved it. So I bought the car. It had 145,000 miles on it. So if you look at the mileage gauge, we're only at 158,000. As a daily driver, I honestly haven't put much on it. I've put more on it this year than I have as of recently, mostly because it's been down for maintenance and I've been working on it. So, but I'm happy where it is mechanically, and I'm excited for the summer to start doing some body work on it.
One thing I am noticing is having 6 gears is really nice. I mean, I don't know how accurate that is, but like, it gets better gas mileage than mine is. It looks like it.
Yeah, go ahead and click over to it. You'll see.
Oh yeah. Oh, you're getting 23.8. We'll reset that.
Yeah. Not well. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, now we're getting 100. Look at that, guys. We're better than a Prius right now. But yeah, honestly, this thing's pretty nice. Something I will say too, going from E36 to E46, is it's a lot quieter. Like wind noise, everything feels more solid, honestly, like less cheap. Like the dashboard, it's solid, like nothing rattles in here, which is, it doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. It's like, wow, the car does what a car should do. But like, you come from an E36, E36s are not like that. Like, they are everything. You hear everything, which is annoying. But this car, honestly, this car is really nice. I also really like the dark blue. It's like Orient blue metallic with the black interior and nice, the headliner. I kind of like it. Rip it a little bit. Oh yeah, really the stock suspension's very nice. You do feel a bit of body roll, but honestly, it's pretty planted. And I'm a huge fan of that. Also, the steering feel is great, like on these. So this has the yellow tag E46 steering rod, which I think all ZHPs had them and some 330s had them, which this one has. And you can definitely feel the difference. It's less dead on center steering. It catches a lot faster. E36s have a tendency, and E30s, to they have a lot of dead zone, but this, it kind of catches right as you do it. And when you modify the suspension, I imagine that's definitely amplified. Definitely, the muffler, honestly, the muffler delete doesn't sound that bad. It's not droney either. Like, yeah, there's a little bit of drone, but like, honestly, like, you'd expect it to be worse. And I'm gonna guess that's because E46s have like 4 resonators, right? And then they also have the cats and the headers.
Yep, exactly. So the only thing that I did was I just chopped the muffler off in the back, but it still has 2 resonators and then the catalytic converter, obviously. So,
oh, it's 2, I see, 2 resonators.
Yeah, you get one right before the cats and then one somewhere in the mid pipe.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Go for a little bit here. It's still pretty quiet. Something I'm noticing, your tach does not drop very fast. Like when you go for a shift, it almost like, I don't know, it like holds the revs. You ever notice that while driving it? Because like, so I have the lighter flywheel, so like as soon as I push the clutch in the tach, it wants to drop. Well, most E36s are like that, but I'm gonna guess there's a difference in cable and electric throttle, which this also has electronic throttle. What I like about this is you still have a little bit of weight in the pedal, and it gives you a bit of feedback, and it does still kind of feel like a cable-esque throttle, but there is a little bit of disconnect. You kind of feel that. I think that these cars are the perfect daily driver for any car person, but especially BMW people, because these cars, they've gone up in value a bit, but they're still pretty affordable. And honestly, like 6 gears, that's really nice. I mean, the highway, we'll hop on the highway, but on the highway, I mean, you really sit down low. It's a huge difference.
Yeah. The big reason why I bought an E46, as opposed Sonny did a lot of convincing to try and get me to buy a M3 with him, but I liked it because I felt like the E46 was just the turning point for BMW, where they mixed their classic, good horsepower style with a modern interior, modern functionality. So it didn't feel like I was buying that old of a car, but I was still buying a classic, cool BMW.
Yeah, you still get that classic aesthetic and the clout, of course, that comes with it. But you don't have to put up with a lot of compromises. E36, not that E36 is super compromising, but it's definitely a lot louder. You definitely, interior rattles, like you hear things. And this car, it's very quiet, and I love that about this car. Brakes are nice. Oh yeah. Ah, 4000 is just the greatest sound. Slow down a bit. Oh man, brakes are Oh, there's a stop sign. That's a really nice patch of road.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Go crack the window a little bit. Alright. Not be too much of an asshole. Turn right. Alright. Now we will stop. We are here before him. He's turning. We are good. Traction control. You definitely feel the all-wheel drive. It does help a lot. Like in mine, it feels a bit less stable sometimes when the road gets bumpy, but the all-wheel drive definitely kind of kicks in, and you can feel it. Honestly, the traction control on the E46 is really good. The E46, because it's electronic throttle, the computer can actually manage your throttle, and because of the all-wheel drive system, it applies different power to your wheels, and it also applies brakes. So it's like the full thing. Like that's the kind of traction control you want. Not the crappy E36 traction control where it's just a second throttle body that just cuts airflow to your main one. But I'm really impressed how this car drives, honestly. Like I haven't really pushed it before. Like this much, but like it's so smooth, quiet. I mean, it's a great sounding car. And fourth gear, it loves to just hang out in here. You just leave in fourth. You got all the torque you need to do what you want, but you're not like, you don't feel like you're pushing the car. The car is happy to be at, 3,000 to 4,000. It's just happy to kind of hang out there. The engine it's very rev happy. My only complaint is that sometimes when I'm going to like second to third, I usually like to pause when I shift to let the RPM drop, and in this car, I guess it doesn't really like to do that. It kind of wants you to just let off the clutch and like almost like slam it into gears. I don't know. It's funny. Most BMW gearboxes don't like you slamming gears, but slamming's not the right word. But like quickly shifting. Usually they like you to kind of give it a second, right? But this one really it encourages you to kind of shift it a bit faster. And the shifter too. Everything's stock, and it's butter smooth, and I love that about BMW shifters. Oh yeah, it really wants you to do that.
And then you can keep going. This is tested. As soon as you get right before that yellow sign, slam on the brakes. Oh, not yet, but alright. Dude, I've done this way too many times. What we just did, this is all freshly paved, so I mean, it's such a nice, like, round, like, 6 miles.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and hop on. We're gonna get to a freeway. We'll hop on and kind of give you my opinion of like what is like 6th gear on the highway. I'm kind of curious. I haven't really driven this car with the muffler delete on the highway. I kind of want to hear it, like drone and stuff. So let's go ahead and get to the freeway. All right, we're gonna hop onto the freeway now. Just so planted. BMWs from this era are just fantastic. And 6th gear, yeah, we're going 75. We're like not even at just over 2,500 at that speed. Like that's nice. This thing though, it's sorted. It's butter smooth. This is a nice drive, and the Sport Pack's nice. This is as close as you're going to get to a ZHP without having to go buy a ZHP. And honestly, you said you prefer this because the diff is longer on this. The ZHP is a 346. This is a 293, which gives you more like the highway RPMs. The 2,500 at 70, I think ZHPs are closer to 3 at 70. You do get a bit of faster acceleration, but you lose out on your your nice highway gearing.
Yeah, it's that trade-off between the daily driver or something that you might want to track down the road.
This is perfectly fine. 225 horsepower in this car. you do kind of, going from my M3 to this, you definitely, it feels a little bit slower, but it's not slow by any means. This car is not a slouch. It's quick, it's fun, and honestly, when you're just kind of having fun on back roads, you really don't need, the extra horsepower. This thing is plenty fun. You have a very nice car here, though.
You know, you look at, say, $46 to $4,800, and it's a perfectly solid E46 330 Xi. I mean, good luck finding one at that price, these days, but yeah.
Now that we've been out for the freeway for a minute, yeah, averaging about 30, so it's, to be fair, we're going a lot faster than I usually do. At about this speed, between 70 and 80, I'd probably be getting high 20, so 6th gear definitely does help your mileage a little bit, but with all that said, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was a lot of fun to film. Steven, it was very nice. Thank you for letting me drive your car.
Yeah, of course, man.
Look forward to fixing her up this summer. It'll be fun. We'll probably do a little mini-series. I hope you guys enjoyed this nice little casual drive, and I'll see you in the next one. Make sure to like and subscribe, and comment down below what you think. Bye, everyone.